Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Are you on the road?
I am on the road.
Finally.
What's that? What'd you say?
You said just like Willie.
Just like Willie.
Yeah. He's on the road again.
Yep. Oh, man. There's like an oven at work today.
Really?
They have a heating, air conditioning. They have a temperature issue. They can never seem to get it right.
Right.
So in the wintertime, it's so hot in there, and in the summertime, it's freezing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Why would they do something like that? If it's that hot, I mean, all you have to do is open up a door.
Yeah.
A window, I guess. If they're accessible.
I'm a little lethargic at the moment. I'm trying to wake up.
Well, you could always jump out in the snow and do snow angels.
Well, I made sure I took the company dog out for a walk at one point just to cool off.
Oh, there's a company dog?
Oh, yeah, we have it's like a mascot.
Like a well-being dog, or?
No, it's just a little dog about like Mia size.
Right.
Yeah.
So who actually owns the dog?
The owner does.
So the owner basically brings his dog to work.
Yeah. Yeah, we all look after her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good dog?
Yeah. She's yappy.
For the most part?
Yeah. Oh no, she's a good dog. She's not a cuddle dog.
Oh,
Not
okay.
one of those. She kind of has a little bit of attitude.
Oh, okay.
But she walks around like she owns the place, which is kind of cool.
What type of dog did you say?
I think a Maltese type of dog.
Okay, similar to what Mom had. It's like a white fluff ball.
Yep.
With attitude, yeah.
Yep, with attitude, lots of voice. Sorry, go ahead.
Lots of what?
Lots of attitude.
Oh yeah. I bet.
So can you pull up our lovely Wonder List and see where we had talked about two topics we wanted to talk about last week. We did one of them, which was the clocks and the batteries. What was the other one?
I'm just gonna look it up here. Let's see here. Here's a list. Okay, so the topic now. This was. Do you remember which one? Note for note, or live music? Versus,
oh, that's what it was. Yes, note for note live music.
Versus improvisational jam.
Right. Okay. So yeah, this is one I put in here. So what I'm asking is when you see a band live, do you want them to play all the songs note for note, no changes, nothing, just exactly like it is off the album?
Right.
Or do you like bands that take the song and change it live? They may either change the tempo, they may, they may change the length of it. There may be added bridges in the songs. They might add a bridge, repeat the bridge a couple times, maybe have some audience participation parts that they add to the song. So that's the improvisational side of it. The reason this came up because I was listening to the Witch Police radio, and they had an episode with a band called Confuschia, which I don't know if you recall them or not, but they are a band that we played the same night with them at the Pyramid Cabaret, and they were one of the favorite bands to potentially win the indie rock competition the year we were in it. Really nice guys, actually. Really nice guys. So their style of music is improvisational, and when they actually recorded their songs, they recorded them live. because they never play the same song twice. They never exactly the same way twice.
Right.
It has all the same verses, choruses, but there's always, they may decide to jam out a section and make the song 10 minutes long, or they may not do that at all. So what do you like? So of the two, what do you like to see live in a band?
Okay, I like to, first off, when you listen to the music on the radio, that's the music that you think you're going to hear, right?
Yep.
I honestly don't like when you go somewhere and you hear the version, the studio version, and they play something that's kind of similar, not quite the same. They don't even when they sing, he doesn't either use all the words or he's not even hitting the notes, like the higher notes. He just kind of I'm just here for the paycheck type deal.
Oh, yeah, the Vince Neil delivery system of vocal.
But what I do like is if you do go to a concert and they start off the song exactly the same, or the beginning different, but start in the song. Don't leave any part of the original studio version of the song out. If you want to extend the bridge, great. Do what you want. You're going into exploratory area, and then you can play a whole bunch of different things. But then it'll always wind up back at the song, right?
Right.
Right. So that you don't miss, because usually when they do them live, they usually extend them anyways, right?
Oh yeah.
Just the endings alone with the drums and everything, like
But not oh yeah, for the ending of the song. Yeah, we had that issue in one of our bands where we could never end the song.
But that's for me. That's what I like. You listen. Either it starts off and you're not too sure what the song is yet. It's all like synthesizers or whatever. Because this is like I'm thinking like 80s rock. That's keyboards was pretty much a staple. And then once it would come into the song, it would be like, oh yeah, okay, that's how it starts on the record, and that's how
I guess it raises anticipation when they do it that way. They're like, what's this? What the hell is this?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of cool.
Well, especially before Google, if you wanted to go and you wanted to be surprised of what the set and what the first song was going to be that they start with, then yeah, that would work.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What? You hearing the bang, bang, bang?
Yeah.
So that's my. I have a tailgate on this thing, or not a tailgate.
Right.
Whatchamacallit? Well,
it's the windshield wiper. It's the rear windshield wiper?
No, it's the hitch. The hitch is removed and it's in the back on top of my spare tire.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's no specific compartment for it.
Okay.
I should probably take it out because the chances of me using it when I'm suddenly on the road and suddenly having to use it pretty minimal.
Yeah. Or does your seat thing come down where you can put something under the seat?
Well, it's in the compartment where the spare is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's get a jet with a bunch of foam.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, so like so in terms of improvisational stuff, like there's bands like Led Zeppelin where they routinely would take a song, stretch it out. Could be 20-minute version of Stairway to Heaven or something.
Right.
And what I like in retrospect, I really enjoyed Confuschia because that's what they're doing. And when you and I jam, we generally go off of each other, and I think that chemistry, when you're like as a musician, just playing as a musician, when you and I are playing together, and I feel like you're like, no, I'm not done playing this section. I want 8 more bars. So I know you're going to do it. Like, I know when you're going to do it.
Right.
And I think conversely, sometimes I would egg you on as the drummer to like, you know what? I'm really digging what you're laying down here. Let's keep going. Like, we always had those, I don't know, those cues to know when to continue and to go on. And I think when you see a band live that has a chemistry like you and I have,
right.
and then they're like, wow, this feels good. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I think I like that. You're not changing the song per se. You still have your verse, you still have your chorus. You're not changing any of that. Right. It's still the same song, but at least if you're seeing a band live and they're changing the song, it's not something you're going to get at home listening to the record, because otherwise you can just stay home and listen to the record.
Right.
So it's nice to get a little bit peppered in there to make it a little more interesting.
Right.
Now there's some bands that completely reimagine the song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of any off the top of my head, where they'll literally take a ballad and rock it up, and it's not a ballad anymore, or the reverse. They'll slow the song right down. A rock.
I've seen that.
And I think
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Kind of all depends on the song.
There's a band I listen to. They're called 16 Horsepower, and they're kind of like a down south kind of hillbilly music, I guess. I don't know what their proper term would be, but it's like banjos, and I think they also play like tin cans and stuff like that. I think like the old schooly, instruments you'd see people playing down in the bayou, and they never play the songs the same way live. They might slow it down, but then they might add an instrument in there that makes a mournful song more mournful, or an upbeat song a little faster. They might add percussion to this song, or they might add a fiddle to that song. Just more layers to it. Like I like little things like that. And in fact, with 16 Horsepower, I do have one of their albums at home. And one of the guys at work turned me onto the live album.
Mm-hmm.
And the live versions of the songs are way better than the album versions.
Wow.
Now, here's the biggest one. Is you're familiar with Kiss Alive, obviously.
Yep.
It's a great album, right?
Right.
Very enjoyable. But if you listen to the studio versions of those songs, they're not the same. They sped up the time. The drummers added in a few little things here and there. There might be a couple of licks that Ace throws in. They might extend a bridge on the live version. The album versions are pretty static. You can tell they weren't recorded off the floor. They're probably recorded one track at a time. Very, very, not flat, but dry. Sterile, yeah. Like, hey, we've done these songs 1,000 times live. Oh, we're doing them in a studio now. Well, when the four guys aren't playing together, it might not be as interesting.
The chemistry.
Yeah. It's all up to the drummer to carry that chemistry over as the first guy doing the track.
Right.
Like laying down the first track. So they changed it live, and their live album, most of the versions on a live are far better than the studio versions.
Right.
Extended guitar solos, things like that.
Right. Well, the live version of the studio version is always usually a little bit, well, I'd say better, but there's more feeling to it. Because everyone's in the same room, they're feeding off, the audience. It's not just, you have to self-motivate yourself when you're in the studio. But when you have all that stimuli around you,
oh yeah,
it just comes natural.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of listening to Kiss, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It makes a big difference. There's other bands where you listen to, like, I was listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers and listening to Mother's Milk, which is the first album they had with John Frusciante, and he was the guitar player that was also on Blood, Sugar, Sex Magic, which was their biggest album that had Under the Bridge on it and all this stuff. But on the album before that, like, those album versions, like, those feel like jams. Like, there's so much fun, there's so much energy. Sounds like it was recorded off the floor, but it's just you can't help but tap your feet
Right.
kind of dance in your chair. Like, it's just infectious. So when I see a band live, if they're going to improve a song like the way Kiss did, maybe speed up the song a little bit, or whatever. Like I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. But there's also a lot of bands put out the radio edit version of a song. Then they have the album.
No swearing.
Yeah, with no swearing. And then there's the radio edit, and then there's the album version. And those are usually different. They'll cut the verses down. We need this down into 3 minutes and 26 seconds. So they'll cut shit out. A good example of that is, I don't know if you know the song Creep by Radiohead.
Creep?
Creep, yeah. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
I probably heard it.
Yeah, it was their biggest song. So, the album version of the song, the lyric is, "You're so fucking special. I wish I was special."
Right.
And then the album version is, the radio version was, "You're so very special. I wish I was special." Doesn't mean the same thing. Doesn't mean the same thing. And the radio version of the song loses me. The song doesn't mean anything anymore.
Or did they correct it on the live version?
Oh no, live they play it the right way. Like they do throw the F-bomb in the live version. They do the album version. They do not do the radio version.
Right.
But some people that don't know Radiohead, they know that song because, it was, a lot of people consider them a one-hit wonder because of that song, and a lot of people know them because of that song.
Right.
But because of the radio version. So when they hear the version with the F word, it's like, I don't like that. But they also interpret the song in a different way because the lyrics in the song all lead to that line, which is powerful. Like when it says, "You're so fucking special," if you're so very special, it's, you're so special. But when you say you're so fucking special, right, it can be taken as irony, sarcasm, anger, or you're just really hot for that person. Like, there's so many ways to take it. When you
that's because the word can be used as a noun, a verb, an action. Like there's. It just accentuates.
But the way he sings the song, and because he says that in the chorus, my interpretation, and that's just my interpretation, maybe that's not their intent, is, she's so fucking special. Like, it's almost, he's in love with this unattainable person, and she's so fucking special, and it's almost that sort of, why am I so obsessed with you? Why do I want to be with you? Why do I like you so much? Why do I want you to just talk to me so bad? It's almost a negative connotation versus you're so very special. It makes him come off as a total loser if he says you're so very special. But if he says you're so fucking special, it shows that he's inwardly reflecting on how he feels about himself and how he feels about her and his own self-esteem as it relates to her. Right. If he just says so very special, it's just kind of one-dimensional lyric.
Yeah, he's accentuating it with the new lyrics. So that's he's bumping it up a notch, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and that's why lyric writing is so important in a song. Like it's.
Well, see that's where like you were saying, some people can take a song and say, it's about this, or someone else will take the song and they'll say, it's about that. It's all individualized. And we spoke about this before. I don't really even listen to the lyrics. I've only listened to the lyrics now on some songs, because back when we had rock and AM radio, half the time you couldn't make out, it wasn't as clear as it is now.
Oh yeah, true.
And even now, I mean, it's kind of hard to distinguish the lyrics sometimes. But yeah, just lately I've been, listening to lyrics of songs and, oh, well, that's what that was about. Okay, well, I just hum the songs like an earworm, right? You just hum it type thing, but you don't know what it's about. Yeah.
Has that ever happened where you're like, you finally listen to the words and go, oh my God, I'm offended? Or I don't like the song as much?
No, not offended. More so like just like I don't know, like a love song, for example. You listen to the lyrics and you go, oh, that's what that was about. Because I didn't, really know about it. Know what it was about, but yeah, different. So you like the live version?
I do like a live version with some, like if it's just note for note, I'm not that interested in seeing the band.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I am maybe a first time, but for repeated concert goings, if I'm gonna go see the same band over and over again,
right?
Like I go see Gwar, like that's a band I see over and over and over again.
Bora?
What's that?
Bora?
Gwar.
Oh, Gwar. Sorry, yeah.
Gwar, yeah. I see them repeatedly because the show is always different. There's always I mean, the songs are more or less the same, but they do have extended versions where they're, where they murder people on stage, pretend to murder people. They murder popular people on stage. They assassinate them for their sins.
Right.
So
basically, the show don't wear your good clothes. Especially within the first 20 rows or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've had stuff permanently stained from Gwar shows. That's for sure. But then, they may extend a section because, okay, well, now we're doing a little bit of theater here. We're going to have music playing in the background while the theater's going on.
Right.
And they may nail down a really good groove in a particular song and extend that groove and extend the part and then, use it to help storytell, which is really interesting, as opposed to just playing the song, letting the song speak for itself. They're extending the song in order to say, to tell some extra theater. Because really, that's what Gwar is. It's heavy metal theater with lots of things being sprayed into the crowd.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've seen a few bands live and note for note, and it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know if I need to see them again. It's like I know the show's going to be exactly the same the next time I see them. Exactly. Right. So like the Reverend Horton Heat's like really fun to see. Like there's a few spots he has in every show, but he also does ad lib, and he's been playing with the same. Like one of the guys in the band, I think he's been in the band for 25 years or whatever. So those two guys have a chemistry together that's, off the charts. Like they can always riff off of each other, and sometimes they'll do some improvisation back and forth because they know each other that well. Like they know they can do that. So,
right.
And it's entertaining as hell.
Huh.
But if they just, copy and paste, the album, it has less energy.
Well, that's true.
And sorry, go on.
No, it's totally exactly the same. Then no, I guess it doesn't really appeal because you could just be listening it to in your car, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's where you have the live version that they do all the changes within it, so that it extends the song. That way, you get your dose of, oh, that's the song, and then you get a dose of, oh, they put this in here. Well, where did that come from? And then when you listen to the studio version again, it's like, whoa, I kind of like the live version better because that has all this extra stuff in it.
Yeah, like Gord Downie used to do it. There's one song in particular. The name's escaping me at the moment, but there's one song where where Gord Downie would do an improvisational story. He would tell a story in the middle of the song.
Right.
And you never knew what the story was, where it was going to go. Sometimes I don't think it was rehearsed. He was just making up a story. So you don't know where he's going to go with it. So then it's like, oh my God, well this is that song. He's going to tell a story, and I don't know what the story is. and it's like funny and anecdotal and scary, or I don't know. It's just cool.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I wish like in Dome we could have been a bit more improvisational. A bit. I think we wrote improvisationally. Like Alex would bring stuff in, and we would write improvisationally a bit.
Well, I mean, if you know the sequence of things there, but when you're doing the 12-bar blues, it's pretty much where you're going to go and what notes are coming up next. Whereas the other type of music is kind of hard to say because it wasn't following a particular format like that.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, you could definitely riff, with the song a little bit differently than what the original one is. And sometimes when you play it enough times after the studio, you start to take on those extra things as, this sounds better. And then you just keep playing it that way.
Yeah, like Breakdown, I think we were, at the end, before we put the album out, Breakdown was evolving, because I know it was a not as favorite song within the band, but it is my favorite song on the album now, because of what we were doing with it at the end. We were adding a few changes, and we made and
did some stuff, just that are off the wall, kind of different than what we were normally doing.
Yeah, and, it's like, if a song isn't good enough, you can still play with it to try to make it better or put changes on it. And I think we were never totally happy with that song.
Right.
But I think we needed to change it live. And I think it would have been fun to do a few songs that way where, let's change it up a bit live. If people have heard us a few times, let's bring something else to the table on it. Like, let's add a section. Like, I think This Is Not an Exit, is that the one where you guys have it's not a jam, but you and Oli had a jam. It was in a couple songs where it's just you and Oli, and it just felt good. It felt like a jam. It felt not unrehearsed, but like little things like that are fun.
Mine was like a groove.
Yeah, it was a groove.
Some type of a groove. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Well, I'm home, sir.
Okie dokie.
So just as a spoiler, that day seems to be good for you, me, and Corey for studio time.
Okay.
That's the day I want to bring in Paulo and JP. Are we okay to do that?
Sure.
I know it'll be tight for room, but we'll all be around the table, and then we'll keep their time tight, so they're in and out, and then maybe we could do another one, just you, me, and Corey. But they want to talk. Paulo had done some research on Sweden. He wanted to talk about Sweden, so he actually did a bunch of research. Perfect. And we're gonna talk about the Sweden surge that we had, and then they want to talk classic '80s wrestling. I'm not sure why, but I mean, Paulo is entertaining.
Right.
He's very entertaining and he's very funny. Him talking about anything is usually hilarious. If he wants to talk about '80s wrestling, I don't know what he's going to bring to the table.
I can see this working very well. I can see it now. I can picture it.
Oh yeah, he's going to be funny, and he's going to be riffing off of JP, who's a big wrestling nut.
Right.
But their chemistry together is pretty good, so I'm very eager. So I got Paulo in. I'm just trying to get JP nailed down for that date as well.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Well, I'm going to head in.
All right then.
See you on the flip side, and we'll talk to you later.
Okie doke.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.